Hey, we're back. Doesn't this look familiar? Buttoning up the truck because I finally have it on the road again.
Cleaning up a few interior parts, getting everything ready for the first time, for the last time. Please, God, let this be the last time.
All right, so the work done to this so far, we took care of the roof problem, which was repainted because the rack thrashed it after, 6 years on the truck? So that happened. Good new painted roof, and we're going to obviously reinstall the rack because we like it, but we're going to do it more intelligently this time.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say intelligence, but something.
Okay.
At least forethought.
And for our turbo issue, the plague of the turbo issue. Well, for one, and if I can get back here, we have brand new turbos in the truck. And we had this issue with the airbox suction cupping to the hood causing a vacuum which blew turbos, and it was a bad time. We've removed a section of the hood here, and we're going to be drilling out some additional holes here for airflow so that we don't have that problem, because custom modification. How do you fix problems with custom modification? The answer is always more custom modification.
He said it, I did.
And Nicholas. That's how you solve it. All right, so let's get cracking. We have a few pieces to put back together.
So, had a few issues with the front of the car. Ignore the pressure sensor. These pieces normally live directly behind your headlight surround and touch the corner of the fender here and then come up and mount underneath the radiator core. Well, one, we don't have a radiator core anymore. Not really. We kind of have edges of a radiator core. Two, the fenders aren't obviously stock anymore. I mean, I don't know. I never thought they shipped it with carbon like this. Maybe a Type R. Who knows? Three, the truck has seen enough off-road that we have bent the nose and
things are wonky.
We have enough alignment problems that trying to get these back in is going to be nigh impossible and is going to cause further issues. The issues we were having was it pushes all of this out, and you start getting weird fitment problems. So, yet again, custom fab. I'm going to be pinning the corners down here, and then tweaking this in a little, and pinning it like so. So, these probably won't live here anymore. So, all right, first things first, we're going to do ye old tradition of list of things we want to get done, and for that, giant Post-it note.
Industrial Post-it notes are Nick's favorite thing. If you're looking for a Christmas gift.
Yeah, one option. Yeah. Something to refill my tears for the sadness also works. Will to live. All right, so main things we want to get done today. The passenger side rear seat belt.
Cattywampus.
Does not retract or lock correctly. Probably because it got bumped around too many times. For those of you who don't know, seat belts are basically, there's a little canister inside full of ball bearings. And it's part of what holds the ratchet in place when it ratchets forward and back. If they get impacted too hard or turn the wrong direction, those ball bearings all fall out of place and it doesn't do its job. It either doesn't retract, it doesn't come out, etc., etc. Our goal, fingers crossed, because that's a very expensive seat belt, is that we can take it out, shake it around enough and get them back into place. If not, it's a $700 seat belt because it has an airbag in it. So, that is job number one. Job number two, skip plates. Let's get this thing back where we're not going to break the bottom of it. Helps if I can spell. Number three, let's go ahead and get the fender liners in. Because I didn't spend that long building custom fender liners to not have them in the truck, especially in Oregon where it rains and it's muddy. So, let's get those bad boys back in as best we can. Then, the center console box you saw me polishing at the beginning. So, center console rebuild. Let's see, after that, what do we got, boss? Roof rack?
we have to assess roof rack, which I don't assume we would.
Yeah. We're putting roof rack with a giant question mark next to it. Probably won't get to it today. Better put it on the list anyway.
Part of the goal for the roof rack is to figure out how we pad, so to speak, the top of the roof to prevent marring in the future.
And prevent the bolts from ripping loose, which is what caused the marring in the first place. That the roof rack literally started pulling the riv nuts up, stretching the aluminum bolts and aluminum riv nuts, causing damage. So, first fact, these are now stainless steel. Yes, we have a potential for galling. I know the few of you who know what galling is will probably mention it in the comments. For those of you who don't, galling's the process when two different metals oxidize by being next to each other. We're going to fix that with Loctite. That's what you do. So, but we're also going to do probably rubber padding or some kind of coating on the bottom of the actual roof rack bars themselves. Then we're going to be replacing the crossbars because all of those are so hammered from all over the years. They need to be replaced. So, yeah.
And finally, which is another question mark, the infamous tune on the truck, which is getting the final stage, near the final stages of drivability for maximum, I guess, freeway speed and gas consumption. And because of these 37s, yeah. There we go. Smiles, maximum smiles. That is really kind of fun, true, right? A tune brings maximum smiles. By the way, the tuner is over here.
Yeah, the tuner is sitting
in a box.
Actually, it's not even in a box anymore. The tuner is an SCT that has been flashed by somebody. I'll remember in a minute and mention it in a side comment. But yeah, we bought this one pre-flashed. It's good. It's spicy. It'll work. It'll also help adjust for the larger tires and the 30% increase in rotational mass.
Nick, how many Ugga Duggas is it going to take to get out that seatbelt?
Ugga Dugga. 2. Come on. 1 Ugga Dugga.
And look at that wonderful sound dampening.
Yeah, look, it's great sound dampening. So the issue we're having is this thing doesn't want to do its job. It wants to retract, but not come back out again. So what was happening was it wouldn't come out, and it wouldn't do the rapid stop that seatbelts are supposed to, and it wouldn't retract. So when I was talking about ball bearings, inside here is a set of coil springs, and the same here. However, that little piece is a small pyrotechnic that shoots the ball bearings everywhere and destroys this side, which is what stops it from retracting correctly.
Safety measure.
Safety third. In this case, actually safety first. But the reason the seatbelt is so expensive, if Brad will zoom in right here, is do you notice this part has a funny little stitching on it? And it's a nice little warning. Inflatable belt. This is an airbag. This is the side impact airbag for the rear passenger. So it charges through the pyrotechnic charge there that clips in. And these are very expensive. So, good news.
That might have been the fastest fix you've ever done in your life on this truck.
On this truck, yes. So let's see if I can keep it working going back in. Come on, little buddy. Nope, come on. Yeah, see? Sometimes you got to shake it a little before it'll play nice.
Does Nicholas Bell have to shake a seatbelt?
Why is it doing that?
Some viewers might get that.
Once it is properly torqued, basically the issue was when we took the truck apart for the umpteen millionth time, it got banged around and it did not get installed quite correctly. We were rushing to get the truck back together, so I'm not surprised. But now that it's installed correctly, I haven't had to actually physically open it or tamper with it. So any of you, worrisome warts, unclutch your pearls, Myrtle. We got this fixed.
Another thing I'm going to point out here, if you can check out here, you'll see this peeking through the sound dampening material we installed all throughout the cab of the truck, which was a fun exercise in patience and work ethic. But it did pay off because I did do a recent quick jaunt, which I will call a medium stakes trip, a testing truck to Seattle and back to Portland, and did fine. And the noise dampening really did benefit the cab for cutting down some of that road noise you would hear from the giant beefy 37-inch tires and the very rowdy exhaust that I put in the truck. So sound dampening gets an A+ in my book on that regard.
After a little additional sound deadening removal to make it actually move smoother, which is part of what it was also hanging it up, passenger seatbelt works as intended. Now, skid plates. Let's get going.
Nicholas needs some bolts, and I'm going to take his ride to go get said bolts at the hardware store. And in order to do that, I'm going to take his ride. And it's not the Rover. It's his sweet early 2000s Mercedes. And here is what we're looking for. M7 1.0, approximately 15 to 20 millimeters long. 4 bolts are at the hardware store to acquire said bolts.
Go ahead and install the tuner in our truck. And I'm going to turn out, crap, wrong video. And then you two pan to each other.
Nick's two-timing me right now. Nick is doing Spinnerman videos for the Sprinter store.
Yeah, exactly. So like the lighting equipment and everything. Like,
have like a bunch of stuff.
I want it to look just absolutely like
With my barred equipment.
yeah, with bar equipment. This is absolute bedlam, kids. I'm wearing 2 microphones at once. Hopefully they don't cancel each other out. DJI, Rode, find out which is better. Check in. Next channel, next 2. Maybe I start doing camera review. And go. And now we're going to go ahead and install the SCT tuner on our 2018 Raptor. Oh crap, wrong video.
Now walk of shame back to the Raptor.
All right, guys, one of the next steps, one of the fun ones, SCT tuning. So these are surprisingly simple to install. First off, buy one fitted for your car. Second, if you live in California, check with your lawyer. Third, what we're going to do is we have a OBD2 plug here, and I've already routed the cable through this little side panel, and you have a little window sticker, and you just plug it in by what looks like an HDMI plug, because I believe it is. And as soon as we do, turn the truck on. Okay, well, it did it last time. Play nice. There we go. So, these are... Hush you. These are pretty simple. You have a first... Go ahead and go to vehicle info. Middle button is okay. So, vehicle functions. We can read codes. We can clear codes. There's some special functions. Cam relearn and crank relearn, which is kind of cool. And then we want to, no. Back. Okay, no, back. You can do a program which gauges you want. There's device info. And then the most important part, this device is 50 State Street legal. Those who use this to alter any are required to make their own individual determination on alterations that do not violate the Clean Air Act. We are not violating the Clean Air Act. We have catalytic converters. We have O2 sensors. We are just changing the tune a little bit to give us slightly more power and overcome the 37. So, any of you worrisome warts, don't worry about it. All right, so what we see here is a bass tune. That is probably what's in the engine right now. And then this is where you can load up your custom tune. So we go ahead and click OK. Oh, well, looks like we've got to update the device driver. But as soon as that's done, we'll get this all taken care of. What we have gotten done, we got passenger seatbelt fixed. We got skid plates installed. Fender liners, I need glue. Need glue. And not for sniffing. Center console. rebuilt, guys. Refrac next time. And Tim,
Kind of.
sad face. Says, once we get software update, happy face. So once we get a software update, we can start messing with the tins and we can really see what this does. As for the custom fender liners, because they are multiple pieces and hand built, I need to glue all the plastic together and then bond the heat plating to the back of it and then mount the structure. Because, as you can see in our fenders, there's nothing here. I don't have anything to mount to. So I got to do a little bit of back end work on that one to get this done. But I think we had a really productive day. First time having the Raptor back in a while, so kind of excited. Now I got 4 project cars working on.
And that wraps up today's vlog, everybody. We've been overcoming a lot of obstacles to get this truck ready again after blown turbos and a myriad of other maintenance issues that we're dealing with on my old Gen 2 Raptor. But we're going to get it trail ready soon, and we're going to take it back out and have some fun with it. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.